So you've read a lot of the commonly recommended books for young adults and you want more than just these. Don't worry, I got some recs for you. Let's get into it. First, we have Graceling, which is a 5-book series. You get to follow along with Katza, who has a grace that basically gives her the power to grown adults, and she's been doing it since she was a child. So, Assistant to the Villain, this is book 1. Book 2 comes out later this year. You follow along with Evie, who just lost her job, and she just happens to find the villain who needs a little bit help getting out of a pretty bad situation. Next, you have Powerless. This is part of a trilogy, plus there's going to be some novellas. So book 1 is out, and book 1.5, Powerful, the novella, is out. Book 2 comes out next month. I don't know when the third one comes out, but basically, if you're ordinary, you get... And Peyton doesn't have any powers, so you get to follow along with her while she gets very close to some princes. Caraval is a trilogy that leads into a spin-off trilogy, Once Upon a Broken Heart. You should read both of these trilogies, but you should read this one first because it gives all of the background information. This follows along with two sisters while they go see Caraval, which is this magical, like, mystery carnival, basically. And you don't know what's real, you don't know who to trust, you don't know if you should trust them, or you should trust the people, or if you should just trust no one. So, very fun. I had a good ride with this one. Ash Princess is a trilogy that follows along with Princess Theodosia, who her entire country has been taken over by the enemy, and she's basically there held as prisoner, kind of like a trophy of war. So they dress her up in ashes to show that her reign and her family have been taken down, and you get to see how her life looks after everyone she knows and everything she's ever known before is gone and over with. This is Sisters of Song and Sword. This is by Rebecca Ross. I've not read anything else by Rebecca Ross, but this is really good. It's a standalone, which is really exciting. You don't get a lot of fantasy standalones. This book follows along with Evadine as she waits for her sister to come home from the Queen's army. But her sister comes home a day earlier than expected, and it turns out she's on the run. She's actually on trial for a murder that she swears that she did not do. Evadine then decides to take half of her sister's punishment because the punishment they gave her was very grueling and she did not think that she would make it through by herself. And you get to follow along with them as they go through that journey. These next two recommendations are a very large series, but they are so worth it. So first we have Red Queen, which is part of a 4-book, 3-novella series. It is so good. There are so many twists and turns. There's betrayals out the wazoo for this one. You need to read this book. I loved it. This changed my entire brain chemistry, and I think about it every single day. Last but certainly not least, the only reason why I'm saying it last is because of how many books there are, Shatter Me. I love this series. I believe the total count is 6 novels and 5 novellas. But it's young adult. They're very easy to get through. There's twists and turns. You get to follow along with Juliet, who has had an awful life so far, and it's just gonna get a little bit worse before it gets better, but I love this series. It's so long, but it's so worth it.